guys. It's Trish. How are y'all doing tonight? I am pulling y'all up on my phone. So if it looks like I'm looking down, I apologize. I want to make sure I have the group on and to make sure I have me streaming. I'm there. Yay. How are y'all doing? I'm doing good. I've had a fly in here. And so if I look like I'm losing my mind and swatting at stuff, y'all will know what's going on. So tonight we're here to talk about your math problems, and I'm not alone because if I was alone, y'all would be in trouble because y'all know I've struggled with math my whole life. So anyway, I'm bringing Nadim from CTC Math in. So 1 second, let me bring on Nadim. Hey.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I like how I just flashed up.
I know, right? Magic. I know. Okay, guys, so we're on StreamYard, so we can't see your comments. I have my phone over here, so if I'm looking down, y'all know why I'm looking down, so I can see your comments. So I apologize for y'all seeing the top of my head, but that's how it goes live, right? Okay, so Nadim, I really, really, really want to start almost at the beginning and really tell everybody about CTC Math. Kind of tell the story of why I love you and all the differences. And so let's just start at the beginning. What is CTC Math?
That's a great question. And actually, we get asked quite often, what does CTC stand for?
Oh, that is a good question.
Yeah, it's cut through curriculum. Okay. Or someone suggested that we call it Count the Crocodiles. Because, And as you can tell, yeah, I liked it too. Thought of, asking Pat, should we rebrand?
No,
as you can see from my accent, I'm in Australia. CTC Math originates from Australia. The program started, it would be now, we've been in the US for 10 plus years, and Pat started the business 30 years ago in Australia. So we're an online math curriculum. Pat is a homeschooler. He understands homeschooling needs.
Who's Pat?
Pat Murray is the voice and co-founder of the program. So when you watch a CTC Math lesson, you'll know who Pat is straight away. He always finishes with his trademark, good luck with your questions at the very end. He's got a very soothing, calming voice. It's actually great to listen to. And he teaches all the children on CTC Math.
Have I ever told you that I actually think that the accent is part of your secret weapon? Have I ever told you that?
We've actually, I don't think you've told me that, but we've certainly got it from a lot of families. They say that the accent, particularly Pat's voice, the combination of his tone and his accent, it's very soothing, very relaxing, creates a great environment for the students. And the American children are very engaged because it's something different.
Right. So and I think they have to listen just a little bit more just to make sure they're catching it, because the dialect is just enough different that it's intriguing. And so they're listening a little bit sharper. I truly believe that is one of the secret weapons. So I don't know if I'd ever told you that, but I'm telling you now. There.
Great one.
So Pat is the owner and the co-owner, and he is the voice. But
correct.
So CTC Math is an online math program. It has how many grades?
Yeah, we cover K to 12, all the way through to calculus actually as well. The video tutorials are short, concise, to the point. What takes other teachers 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes to explain, Pat does it in a few minutes, and the concept or the thinking behind that is that if a child's doing a 45-minute math lesson and they're getting a 30, 35-minute explanation, they're only getting 15, 10 minutes of practice. It's much better to give them a 5-minute explanation and then 40 minutes worth of practice to hone in on their skills and develop their understanding. There's also a misconception: the more words you use, the better it's going to be. But it's actually quite often the opposite. Kids get lost, they get distracted, and it's just a blank screen.
So do mamas. Yeah. We get distracted. There's too many words too. Yep, I agree. So it's multiple levels. It's got literally from K, although I guess, do y'all claim K? Do you want to be K?
And we do start from kindergarten. So yeah, and then going all the way to year 12. And the students have access to all lessons from all grade levels. So students are really free to work at their own pace. You don't have to purchase multiple grade levels. If your student's doing really, really well, they can excel forward. If they're struggling, you can go back and fill those gaps, which is so vitally important in a subject area of math. You need that strong foundation.
So there are a few things that I think are vastly different about CTC Math. Let's talk about a couple of those because I think those are really important game changers for families.
Let's go. Do you
So
want me
the
to jump
first, for me, the one that I thought was the most important was that it adjusts to
in?
your children. And I think that's something that is completely new and different. I actually asked that question in the group tonight, and I asked if anybody had ever used that. I had a curriculum that did that, and everybody said no, except for those that were taking CTC Math and they knew. So explain how that works and what it does.
It's called adaptive learning. And basically, it delivers the right question at the right time. You don't want to overburden a student. You want them to lead them up an inclined plane step by step. So if we deliver a question that's too difficult, they're going to lose confidence. Obviously, get it wrong, lose confidence, lose interest. If it's too easy, again, it's too easy. They're not learning, they're not progressing, they're not going up that inclined plane. So with the adaptive nature, we have a clever algorithm working in the background. It's studying the student's response time, the correct answer, the question that they just answered, and how they're going. And it slightly increases the difficulty level as they build confidence and as they get more questions correct. Of course, we only deliver questions on the lesson or the concept that they've just learned. So it's not going to pull something from
Six back,
another topic,
right?
but it is adaptive in its nature. The interactive questions are adaptive by nature.
And some of the other things, of course, is you have the all the grades, which a lot of math curriculums. Matter of fact, I don't know of any other math curriculum that has all the grades there. Then we also have the fact that you have a family plan, which I don't think a whole lot of companies offer a family plan when you have multiple kids. So that's a big deal for especially larger families. What are some of the other things that are very different about CTC Math that you think that moms need to know?
Great one. And this all ties into the fact that Pat homeschools. He
Yeah,
gets homeschooling families. He knows that giving access to one grade level is not good enough for a year. He knows that if you have a large family, having to purchase multiple, he's got 10 children, 5 boys, 5 girls. So
he gets it.
he gets it. So giving a family plan is very important, And sorry, I got sidetracked. What else?
But also the whole concept of him being a homeschooler. I think that that's also unique about your math curriculum is that he not only supports homeschooling and believes in homeschooling, he is one of us. So he kind of understands the struggles that we have too.
Correct. And little things like being able to add tasks. We've got the course planner being released very, very soon. So right now, families can go in and set tasks for their children. You will be able to go in and set an entire year's worth of work with a couple of clicks of the button. So that just automates your whole year. It's a course planner for the entire year for CTC Math. Now, that's someone that gets homeschooling.
You just gave away a little secret right there. What was that you snuck in?
What did I sneak in?
The course planner's coming?
It's coming. It is coming.
So tell us about that. And what exactly
it's in development. It's in testing. We're working really hard on it. We want to get it out before September 1st, even earlier than that, because we want families to take advantage of it for the upcoming school year. It gives you go in, you select your child, and you select the entire grade level. you split it up based on how many weeks you're going to homeschool in the year. And then you divvy up the lessons. Well, it divvies up the lessons for you.
Right.
You preview it and you okay it. There's a few functionality options. Do you want diagnostic tests? Do you want the weekly revisions? Do you want
Do you
to
get
work?
the luxury of picking like 4 days or 3 days or however many days you're going to do it? Oh,
Yeah.
that's going to be such a blessing. That is so
Yeah.
exciting. Okay,
And
so
do you want to work in the school holidays, or do you want to take some time off? And then it sorts it all out for you. And then you preview it, you okay it, and then every week when the child logs in, they get their weekly set of lessons.
Oh,
And you can make edits.
That's so important as kids are starting to move into the more independent levels where they really need to be working at a weekly level instead of a daily. That's great. That is exciting. Yay. That's good. So that's another difference with CTC Math. Okay. Anything else I didn't cover that I didn't think about?
I think the weekly revisions are fantastic as well. And we're releasing grades 7 and 8. Currently, they're available for 1 to 6. But by popular demand and a lot of requests, we've had requests for grades 7 and 8, and they will be released in 2 weeks, 7th and 8th.
Wow.
But you already have access to 1 to 6 with the weekly
You're
revision.
doing a lot for this year. Wow, that's exciting.
Every year. I mean, if you have a look at the history, we've introduced task adding, the question bank wizard, the adaptive questions. We've bulked up the course level and the grade lessons and added more lessons for a fuller curriculum. Our history in the US, every year we've released something. We don't sit down and go, this is a great program. We don't need to do anything about it. It is a great program, but we constantly take on feedback and put it into action.
I love that. I love that you're listening to us. So that's a blessing for us. Okay, so one of the things that we always hear is it Common Core? Explain why it's not Common Core.
Not Common Core. I think the simple reason is that Pat believes in the traditional methods that have stood the test of time. He developed these lessons over a long period of time, and they're proven. So he certainly didn't design it to suit Common Core or any standard like that.
And that's an American thing, and Common Core is not even in Australia. So yeah,
Sure.
they wouldn't do it anyway. So okay, another thing that we always hear is, what about placement tests? How do your placement tests work?
That's a great question. So our placement tests are quite in depth. Once you finish doing our placement tests, you're going to have a rock solid foundation. You're going to fill in every single gap, and the students are going to have the confidence. Your child's going to have the confidence to face whatever grade level they are up to. So say your child's in 6th grade, but there's some gaps in 5th grade. We've got these diagnostic tests for each and every topic. So typically there are about 15 topics within each grade level. They'll complete the first one. They'll get a report. It will outline which lessons they did well with and which lessons they struggled with. The idea is then to click into those lessons that they struggled with, watch the video tutorial, understand it, attempt some questions on it to make sure that the understanding is there, and then move on to the next topic. Now, this process might take a week. It might take a couple of months, depending on the child and how many gaps there are. But once it's complete, the students, the children, have a solid foundation. Because what often happens is we try to do this patch job. You know, the foundation isn't right, the structure's not right, and we try to patch it up here and there, here and there. This is a foolproof method. And once the child's finished it, they're all the more better for it. We've got a great video on how to go through it. Once you log in the top right-hand corner, there's a need help button. And if you click on that, there's one on placement tests.
Okay. Very good. Y'all heard that. I hear y'all. I see y'all. There's a lot of questions. I will circle back around at the end and answer your questions, but he's got mine first. Sorry. No, I'm just kidding. I literally have a couple of questions that I really, really want him to answer, though. So I will get to your questions, though. So how can you be both mastery and spiral? Explain how we're doing that.
Great question. Yeah, this is fantastic. So the video tutorials by nature are mastery. Okay, so we teach one concept at a time. We don't overburden the child. We keep it short, concise, to the point, and we hammer that concept home. Okay, and we hammer that nail in and make sure that it's in securely. And then they complete questions based on that video tutorial. But spiral revision is very important because you don't want them to forget concepts. You don't want to forget the difference between ascending and descending. You don't want them to forget how to add and subtract fractions with different denominators and so on and so forth. So what we've got is the weekly revision tests. So they're one a week. They're completely optional as well, but we highly recommend them. There's 26 questions that they complete, and they follow spiral revision. We've also got the diagnostic tests that can be used as a pre-test or a post-test, and that incorporates spiral revision. And then finally, we've got the question bank wizard, which allows you to go in and create a custom worksheet based on one lesson or multiple lessons. You can select the level of difficulty, how long you want it to go for, so on and so forth, and you can print that or present that. I always say that CTC Math gives you all the tools. It's up to you to pick and choose the one that best suits your children.
We need to write an article on that, Nadim, because that's one of the questions a lot of people always say is, how do I do that? As a matter of fact, there's a question over here right now. What are weekly revisions? And I can almost guarantee you, I don't know who it is, Facebook user, that, but I bet you it's somebody that's using it. Sometimes there's so much that's offered, they don't know how to get to everything. And so I think that would be a great article is how can it be both spiral and mastery? And let's talk about how CTC Math does that and how they can, do the mastery that is obviously offered, but also the spiral, which is them going back and assigning tasks. So we can do that. But I just want to let you know there people are asking about that. Okay, so hopefully everybody understood that. If you didn't understand that, we're going to do an article on it. So that's on my list. So there you go. And maybe that's something you need to do a blog post on CTC Math. Maybe.
That's a good one. We definitely will.
I think so too. Okay. They do have a free trial. We've talked about the free trial, but I want to give you all that. And I'm going to give you all the links at the end. They're going to be here. I'm actually going to create a post that has all the questions, all the links, everything all together. And then I'm going to tag everybody. And so y'all will have all of that. But let's talk about the free trial for the time being. The free trial is different than what you might think a free trial is. So I want to explain it so people can get that. So will you explain that, Nadim?
Sure. So the free trial is like a light version. You have access to the first lesson of each and every topic. There's no time restrictions. We've done it like this so that there's no time restrictions. It's not like a 7-day trial or a 14-day trial. So instead of getting the full program, you get a taste of it. You see the first lesson of each topic. So again, there's about 15 topics in each grade level. So you see about 15 lessons for each grade level.
Right. Okay. That's good to know. And are there any deals right now, Mr. Nadim?
Of course. Always for our hip homeschooling mums. Homeschoolers get a half price discount. And if you follow Trisha's Hip Homeschool Mum link, you'll get a bonus 6 months if you register for 12 months. Yes. So basically $148.50, $150 will cover all your children for a year and a half when it comes to the area of math. If you have a single student, it's $98.50, again, for 18 months.
Yep. Love it. Okay. So one of the things that I love that I think is a game changer too, and I think it says so much about how confident y'all are about your product. Tell me about the guarantee, because that is a very generous guarantee.
Yeah, and that's also why we have a light version with our free trial, because you actually get a 12-month money back guarantee, no questions asked, with the full program. That's right. Absolutely no questions asked. You can email us for any reason or no reason whatsoever and ask for your money back within 365 days, and we will process a refund. You simply email us, info@ctcmath.com, or you give us a call. And we've had this guarantee for the 10 years we've been in the US market, but also for the 20 plus years, almost 30 years. in Australia and New Zealand and other countries that we're in, the UK, and so on and so forth. The simple reason is that if CTC Math is not working, we're confident it will work for your family. We're very, very confident it will work. But if it is not, we don't deserve your money, okay? And we don't want to have, particularly homeschooling families, purchase multiple curricula in a given school year. That's not fair. I remember when we first entered the homeschool market in the US, we asked, what were some of the biggest problems when finding a math curriculum? And it was like going through 3 or 4 or not finding the right one, constantly changing. And I thought, wow, this must be very expensive for families and it's not fair. And Pat certainly has always had that thought process and has always had his guarantees. So, yeah.
I'm actually going back and looking at that question because I asked that question tonight. I said, how many different math curriculums have you tried? And there's, 2, 5, 7, 8. I mean, they're like all over the place. 13 years, 6 or 7. So yeah, there's a lot of families that try a lot of curriculum. Okay, so I'm going to give y'all the links in a little bit, but I wanted to go and answer some of these questions that y'all have. So Nadim, got a few more minutes? Can we answer some questions?
For sure, of course.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so one person said, can I send my 7th grader to do this on his own?
Yes. Yeah. The video tutorials do all the heavy lifting for you. You can ask him to work through the curriculum order, the list that the lessons are listed in, just one by one sequentially, and you can set tasks if you want. Yeah.
She also said, I needed to jump in and help her. Would I be completely lost? Because sometimes I'm relearning it or at least recalling what I'm doing math when I'm doing math alongside of her. Also, maybe my 4th and 3rd grader too. So she's just saying that would she be completely lost? And no, if she watches the very short video, she's going to be right there with them. So
For
no,
sure.
you won't be lost.
And each and every family, whether it's a single student or a family account, each and every parent has their own membership. So you can go in, watch the video tutorials, attempt the questions. No one's going to see. Your children aren't going to see the results.
Yeah,
it's not going to affect their scores. It's not going to affect their scores. It's your own personal profile that you can only log into. And so that's a great way to come to speed if you want to be involved.
Somebody said, I'm good, but I would like to say thank you for your awesome CTC Math team. Contacting you guys with questions is the easiest thing ever. I always get a kind, timely response. So somebody's giving y'all kudos over there.
Thank you. Jordan and the team are fantastic.
Isn't that fun? I love that. That was Gina. Thank you, Gina. Amanda says, will there be an option to pull a grade report card average for a certain time period? For example, when I need a second semester grade, can I get a cumulative score for the lessons done January through May instead of the course total grade? I don't remember that one.
Yeah. So what she's asking is right now we give a course grade. So that's a course grade, but it sounds like she just wants a course grade for half the year. We can calculate it. It doesn't automate it, but if you email us, you can download all the lessons, entire Excel spreadsheet of all the grades that this child has scored. So you can sort it by date, and then remove the ones that you don't want, and then average out those. It's all on an Excel spreadsheet, so it's really, really easy.
Okay, Amanda, there's your answer.
If you need help, email us, and we can help with that.
Okay. Amanda asks, are there printable worksheets available for those that need a little extra practice and would benefit from writing it out? There's that multiple disciplines. So yeah.
For sure. The weekly revisions that I touched on, there's worksheets for the upper grade levels as well. Just remember, they're not adaptive in nature. So they're not adaptive questions. You can't physically create a worksheet that's adaptive.
Right.
We also have the ability with the question bank wizard to create your own custom worksheet. You can create an infinite amount of worksheets using the question bank wizard for one or multiple lessons. So it's really helpful. I can share my screen and show you what a weekly revision looks like if you want.
Or we can add one here in the group, either way.
Yeah, perfect. Let's do that.
Okay, we'll add it as a comment at the end. So it'll
Sounds
be one
good.
of the comments on this live.
Yeah.
Missy says, I don't know anything about CTC Math. So she didn't hear the first question. Is it on the computer, in books? How does it work? Okay,
Sure.
Missy, we're going to give you a very high level response. It's online and you can print things out. So it's a little bit of both. However you want to use it. It literally is tailored. You get to pick.
Actually, if you print the week, we've got weekly. Oh, we've got a lesson summary of each and every lesson. So when you watch the video tutorial, there's a one-page summary of what the children just learned. So if you were to print those, you'd have a textbook.
There you go. See? Okay, so now I'm over here on the live and I'm going to answer these questions or ask you these questions. Some of them I can't tell who the person is that asked. So I apologize because the way StreamYard is, I can't address you directly. So I apologize. Well, you have We Love CTC Math. So you have a fan over here. And somebody said, Trish, you're adorable. So whoever that was, I don't know who you are, but thank you.
What about me?
I know, right? You didn't say that about Nadim. I'll have to pick on whoever that was. Brini says, not I'm late, but I'm here. My children love the accent. My 4-year-old West Virginia hillbilly is trying to pick up the accent. I love that. That's so cute. Okay, here's the question. Does it matter how many minutes a day that they do?
The short answer is no. I mean, we do have recommendations of completing at least looking at a week and completing 3 to 4 lessons a week, plus a weekly revision or a diagnostic test.
Okay, there you
But
go.
there's also, because the questions are adaptive, there's a 4-star mastery system. And they will have to attempt the questions multiple times to see the most difficult questions because they see 10 at a time. So we recommend that they aim towards 3 or 4-star mastery, which doesn't take very long. I mean, 30 minutes to 40 minutes, you'll complete a lesson.
And that's something that was actually added, I think, last year where
Correct.
y'all did that. So that's something that's a fairly new way that they do things, and it works, because they are getting harder. Remember, we're talking about the adaptive questions. They're getting a little bit harder each time, and as they master it, they're getting a little bit more challenging question every time. So that's why you want to go back through. Okay, we've been using CTC Math for 8 years and still have a lot of years ahead of us. Excited for all the new things. So there you go. My daughter has learning challenges. She's in the 4th grade, but still works anywhere between 2nd and 3rd. If I am understanding this right, this is adaptive. Exactly. I don't know who said that, so I apologize. It just says Facebook user, but that's essentially it. You want to go a little bit deeper into the adaptive just to help?
Yeah, and I think it's important for it was someone working in 2nd grade, but should be 4th grade. Is that correct?
She said, my daughter has learning challenges. She's in the 4th grade, but still works anywhere between 2nd and 3rd.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Yep. So you have access to all lessons from all grade levels as well. So it's not that a 4th grade level lesson will drop down to a 2nd grade level because you can go into the 2nd grade level, but it will start very easy on a 2nd grade level and progress them up. So what I'd recommend is if they're in 2nd grade, that's fine. Use the diagnostic test to identify area of weaknesses and then jump in and use the adaptive questions to help remedy it. And then work at their pace, work at the child's pace.
That's great. I think that's all of the questions. Somebody said late, but here, and I can't see you because it just is Facebook user. So some Facebook user is here. So I'm going to go through real quick and make sure I didn't get any other questions that I did not answer. I think I've got them all. So if there are more, Nadim is excellent. He's wonderful about answering my questions. So if I see one that did not get responded to, I apologize first off, but I will get it to Nadim. He's great about responding to me, and then I'll come in and give you the answer, or he'll point you to some place that will give you an answer, like a video or something. So, but we will do that. So if I did not get your question, I'm apologizing, but we will get around to it. And everybody's saying thank you. Thank you. Apple says she's starting back tomorrow. So yay. And she's starting on CTC Math. So she says thank you. And somebody says, I've been thinking about this all summer, so this was great. Yay, whoever that Facebook user is that said that, you're going to have to tell me who it is because I can't see who you are. It just says Facebook user. So thank you, Nadem, for being here and for being, walking through this with fresh eyes so everybody can kind of get a new perspective if they haven't ever heard of you, but also it's a review for some that do know CTC Math and are using it. So thank you for being here.
No problems. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for all you do for homeschooling. We really appreciate you guys. You are a big supporter in so many communities and so many environments around the homeschool world. And I have to say thank you. Thank you for all you do for all the homeschoolers, even when they're not using your product. We really do appreciate you.
It's awesome that parents make it their responsibility to be the primary educator of their children. There's something very impressive about that and very important.
We appreciate you, Nadem, especially in this day. Woo! Okay, guys, y'all have a fantastic evening. If you need anything, answers here, please post them. I will be back here in a very few minutes to post all the links for you. So they will be here in the comments. But thank you for attending and for joining us for this conversation and for being a part of the community. We appreciate you guys. Nadem, we'll see you in a month.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.